But she got a little freaked out, and I was like trying to grab her so I could clean her, and then she didn't like that, so she like ran around more. Pretty much. Yeah, it was just one thing leads to another. Alright, Garlic Empire. Don't touch the Triad. The Legatus himself is here. After him. Hopefully you kind of remember what's going on. Yeah, this is not Garlean music, that's for sure. Okay. Told me to leave him. I trust him. Thanks, Oriange. It's Van Hydrus. No! Get back here! I almost had him. One of these times. Cryo needs me. Oh no. Where's Cryo? Cryo, no. You okay? Okay, think so, no Kalhai. We'll keep chasing him. Alright, Y'shtola's still with us. This one looks a handful. Self-detonate. Oh, I need to be in the bubble. Get to the bubble. Thanks, Y'shtola. I see him. We're gonna catch him. After the Legatus. And still they come. Press on, Celestia. I will handle this. The dynamic duo. Yeah, we need an expansion that's like Cryo, Y'shtola, Celestia. Maybe Alphino can come and we'll just keep making fun of him. I have exposed the bones of their work. Now, to extract the marrow. No, you don't. Even in the moment of my triumph, you persist in your misguided crusade. So be it. I shall present my prize to the Emperor alongside your head. Guys like Gaius.
Savages.
Savages.
Can you withstand this?
No, I think Sloppy is the peak, to be honest. Everything's downhill from here. Actually, there's still a few good memes, but it's definitely the most soundboardable. Although Lahi's also pretty good.
Enough!
Ow. Not quite strong enough. You're no Gaius Van Belsar. Celestia. So funny. I was listening to one of her albums today. She's such a good piano player and such a great artist. But yeah, every time I see her, I just think of the Lahi video. Her face is so good. It's so funny. The Tumulus is unbreached then. Uh-huh. And us and Y'shtola kind of look similar in these outfits. We got a like white top, black bottom thing happening. Mine's just a little crazier. And Uno Cal highs. Kryl. My wounds will not slow my blade should you seek to bar my path. And you would slay me, no doubt, but it would be your final act. We got you surrounded. What madness afflicts you Eorzean fools? The Emperor but desires a means to shackle the Icons in their destructive appetites. Why do you rail against your own salvation? It is not for man to wield such power. The primal energy your Emperor seeks to contain would be as kindling wanting for a spark. Forget not the White Raven, Legatus. Like thee, he presumed to wield the power of Alag, and invited the calamity in so doing. The star's fate is too important to be decided by any one man, a warmongering savage least of all. Have care, boy. You speak of my Emperor. But dying here in defense of his honor will not further his cause. He's got a flashlight! Oh. What was that? Well. I appear not to be dead. Ow! Kryl. I may have cracked a rib or two, but I'll be fine. Honestly. Our foes gave no quarter. Had Uno Kalhai stinted in his defense of thee, Thou mayest be certain thy hurts would be far worse. I could do no less. Mistress Cryle is here at my behest, after all. The secrets of Allag are safe for the present, though 'tis doubtful the legatus will return to Garlemald till the prize he coveteth lie in his grasp. Then we must redouble our efforts to protect this place. Cryle and I will place additional seals upon the tomoliths. Unukau hi. I appreciated you staying at my side. Thank you. Oh, they're trusting each other. 'Twas not. Oh, please. It was a good deal more than that, and you know it. Now let me help you. When a woman thanks you for saving her life, the customary response is, "You're welcome." You are welcome. It's Alfie 2.0. What if it's just Alfie under the mask? Takes up a fake identity to get away from all the mocking and still just gets made fun of just as much. Cryle and Yastrola together just make me happy. Just never know what's gonna happen. Ah, Urianger, are the new wards already in place? My colleagues yet toil upon their enchantments. I come unto thee in secret, that I might question thee outside their hearing. Question me? I would speak with the one who undid my subtlest magecraft. He who invited an imperial legatus into this facility, in hopes of engineering the man's demise at the hands of the Warrior of Light. You accuse me of masterminding this day's events? The plan may have been thy master's, but the deed was thine. Thou didst lure the legatus of the 6th Legion into a trap from which he was not intended to emerge. 'Tis plain to me now that thy seeming opportunism in proposing his elimination was feigned, that his death was the object of thy plan from the first. And you have proof of this? Thine own words betrayed thee. Thou didst speak of the Empire's desire to claim the Genesis expression, the existence of which even the learned Mistress Cryle was ignorant. Whence then did the legatus come by such definitive knowledge? And then there's the matter of mine unraveled ward. None save one possessed of an otherworldly gift could have so swiftly effected its dissolution. Know thee of another blessed with such? Assuming these accusations have merit, what then? Full many times and oft doth the pursuit of truth lead men down darkened paths. I take no issue with thy purpose, 'tis but thy method I would call into question. In the Garlean Empire we have a common foe. Hadst thou deigned to share thine intentions with Celestia or Mistress Cryle, 'tis like that we would have closed the trap with less risk to life, and more success. I sought to use the most dangerous secrets of Allag as bait. Who among you would agree to such a reckless plan? None. And with good cause. Irrespective, thou wert remiss in thy duty to thy comrades. I note with some disappointment that in matters concerning the primals, and those who would control them, the cold rationality upon which thou so pridest thyself is conspicuous by its absence. Know that the salvation of this star is an end too vast for any one of us to accomplish alone. Shouldst thou fail to trust in thy comrades, I foresee thy actions precipitating some terrible misfortune. Indeed. My sincerest apologies, Celestia. Urianger is correct in his suspicions. It was I who orchestrated this encounter with the Empire. I would ask that thou forgive Unukalhai this transgression, and keep mention of it from Mistress Kryl. 'Twould be a pity for one foolish decision to wither their budding camaraderie ere it had a chance to bloom. There you are, you rotten idler. When Y'shtola realized we were struggling with the words alone, she was absolutely livid. Never mind the warring triad. I have awoken Archon Y'shtola's tempestuous wrath. In supplicant mood, I shall return at once, and there atone for mine indolence. Oh my gosh. You're still the scariest thing in all of Eorzea, confirmed. Come, Celestia, it's time we return to the Rising Stones. Goodbye. Mysteries on mysteries. It doesn't end. Every time something good happens, another layer gets peeled back. Yeah, I still don't trust him. I think he's definitely on our side for now, but I am a little concerned. Yeah. I mean, I didn't feel like, sorry, going back to your earlier comment, I didn't feel like Papalima's passing was really off-screen. He lost his body when he did the ritual, the same way that Louisoix did. And basically became the dome, and then when the dome was gone, his aether dissipated. So there wasn't really it wasn't like he was alive in the dome with the primal or anything like that. I don't know. I guess it depends when you consider him dying. Like, yeah, it's a little weird since there wasn't a body. Because people are aether, and aether can change forms, and yeah, it's a little complicated, that's for sure. But it did mirror Louisoix's, which I thought was a really cool touch. It even did the same like video effect where the screen kind of went like white and like faded across. Like, I thought that was really cool. Once again, I must apologize for acting without your consent or counsel. As a gesture of repentance and a sign of good faith, allow me to share something of myself with you. Okay? As Urianger suggested, I possess the gift of the Echo, though it is of a nature different from yours. Regardless, I would use my gift for the self-same purpose, the salvation of this star, and nothing poses a greater threat to the world than the proliferation of primal harnessing technology. This I know only too well. What I am about to divulge concerns the fate of another star entirely. On this other world, a magic was devised that allowed the realm's champions to use a stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals. Like, white Auracite, like we just made? So armed, these heroic souls conquered god after god, oblivious to their weapons' fatal imperfection. Its propensity to bleed primal energies. And with each victory, the heroes changed, transforming at last into fiends of endless appetite, insatiable in their hunger for aether. They ultimately went to war over the star's ever-dwindling life force. That would be my guess. Sounds like he's not from the first, because they like killed all the Ascians and basically just sounds like the Warriors of Darkness just were unstoppable. So it sounds very different from this world, but could have been any of the other 12, I suppose. And fought until there was nothing left. Thus, as Urianger so astutely observed, when I am faced with those who rush to embrace power unchecked, I lose all semblance of rationality. Know that my master, too, cares deeply about the fate of this star. I am his servant, his instrument, sent here to ensure that the same tragedy does not consume another world. Oh man. I need more answers. Unukalhai has urgent news to share on the current state of the Warring Triad. Okay, so I think there's another time jump here. Warrior of Light, if this world is to survive, we must needs move forward with our plan. Another pillar of the Warring Triad must be toppled. The question of which has already been answered. Following our encounter with the Legatus, Archon Y'shtola detected erratic etheric waveforms emanating from the sector containing the icon Sophia, known simply as the Goddess in former times. Such readings can only mean one thing. She is close to awakening. Let us return to Azus Law forthwith and put an end to this primal deity, lest she rise again in all her terrible glory. Alright, Sophia, number 2. Also, I didn't want to throw too much information at you, but the Warring Triad are also bosses from, I think, Final Fantasy VI. So they do a lot of, well, yeah, they've done a number of these kind of like mini trial boss battle series that are like kind of classic Final Fantasy bosses. So that's not really relevant to the in-game lore or anything like that, but if you want to know Final Fantasy trivia, or why some people really like some of the bosses, that's a big part of the reason. Oh, also, would you be able to update the game? Sorry, I forgot to change it off of Final Bar Line. Thank you. But yeah, if we ever get to do the Final Fantasy playthrough of other Final Fantasy games, you'll see a lot of familiar bosses and faces. Oh, oh, whoops. That happens. I don't change games often, so when I do, I often forget to change it back. We appear to be the first to arrive. Shall we await our colleagues here? Yeah, I mean, there's the really recurring ones, like Ifrit and Titan, that are in, like, I don't know, like 14 of the 15 games. And then, yeah, there's some that are only in one game, but pretty much all of those at this point have now made their way into 14. Actually, that's not true. But, like, 5 or 6 of the games have had a lot of their bosses brought over. Could the 6th Legion have returned? But it's kind of cool if you're a Final Fantasy fan. Like, I didn't play them when I was younger, but I don't know. If there was, like, The Vith. Oh no. The Vith. But yeah, if there's a game series that I liked that was like pixel art, I guess Fire Emblem's probably the best example. Like seeing Marth and all the like other emblems in Fire Emblem Engage was really cool. And like a lot of those were kind of around the same era. I feel like in a lot of ways Fire Emblem is just Nintendo's Final Fantasy. They just kept Fire Emblem turn-based, and Final Fantasy became like its own genre in a way. Which now makes me sad because I really want a Fire Emblem MMO. I could be playing Fire Emblem 14 online instead, and that would be really cool. Sorry, I'm trying to detangle wires. Alright, Celestia, Uno Kalhai. Cryo! Why do you look so stressed? We're under attack! Yustel and Urianger have engaged the foe not far from here. That doesn't look like the Empire. What are those things? Ha! Rarely is my shield thus tested. 'Twould seem the Alligans have not been lax in their recruitment. Sir? The Alligans have not been around for tens of thousands of years. Think you so? Mayhap your arm merely withered whilst you lay idle. Still your tongues. We've stalled them long enough. Oh. With scales in hand, the goddess shall arise, and righteously cast off her cursed pall, that she, with wrathful Worm King at her side, might judge and thence bring balance unto all. Hear my words in despair, Alligans. Our goddess is awoken. Your civilization has birthed the instruments of its own undoing. Why could everyone just teleport all of a sudden? Thought only I could do that. 'Tis well that you are here, Celestia. You should like to know what our assailants were saying. You understood their words, did you not? Uh-huh. Like, don't three of us have the echo? Like, more of us understood what they were saying than not. Oh, and apparently Urianger knew? That's interesting. 'Twas a Mericidian dialect, if my ears do not deceive me. The one which beareth scant resemblance to any spoken in recent times. As for antagonist meaning, I do gladly defer to those blessed with the echo. Okay. Yeah, the Australians! Why were they glowing? The one with the shield seemed to think we were Alligans. He recited what sounded like a verse of prophecy, then claimed that their goddess is awoken. Is that about right, Celestia? More or less. I was waiting for the nod. The nod never came. And might we assume that this deity of theirs is the very icon we've come to topple? Aye. From their tongue, their words, and their attire, 'tis like that our antagonists were Mericidian, thralls to the goddess Sophia, and victims of the Alligans' incursions. If, as Cryo claimeth, they thought us agents of Allag, 'tis little wonder that they sought to bring us low. You suggest that Sophia's servants have been liberated from their containment. Then we have no choice but to accept word of her awakening as truth. Gods help us. The Warring Triad have proven formidable enough when we've roused them with a fraction of their true strength. Should Sophia break free at the peak of her powers, Celestia and her friends won't stand a chance. It is just primal whack-a-mole. Okay. Now we're killing off Australian primals. Oh my goodness. Also that are ancient and not from this era. Fine. Deal with this one too. Let us be about it then. Celestia, Cryo, Uno Kauhai. The three of you will make directly for Sophia's containment facility. Urianger and I will do what we can to occupy the Icon's thrall. I'm struggling to read all of a sudden. It's a lot of words I don't normally say. The Mericidian thrall occupying icons. Mistress Cryo, do you perchance recall the words of the prophecy in its entirety? Let me see. I believe it was... With scales in hand, the goddess shall arise, and righteously cast off her cursed pall, that she, with wrathful Worm King at her side, might judge and thence bring balance unto all. Just casually walking off after flexing her memory. Is there a point to that? We're just testing Cryo's memory now? Okay. Yeah, it was just so matter of fact, just like, okay, guess we'll just go fight the primal now. History tells of a Mericidian nation comprised of a multitude of races, the foundations of which were built on the worship of a single deity. The goddess, as she was simply known, graced the souls of her worshippers with perfect equilibrium, binding their disparate societies in gilded chains of harmony. In the present day, she is better known as Sophia, one of the incalculably powerful icons of the Warring Triad. And after 5,000 years of imprisonment, her failed plans for vengeance once more threaten to come to fruition. Defeat the wakened thralls and slay the stirring goddess, lest her divine balance bring all the world to equal ruin. Let's see if we can get a little bit quicker queue. I'll tank Sophia, it's fine. Where did... I had... Okay. Oh, right. Never mind. Let's do that. There we go. There we go. I have butterfly wings! Could just do this solo. Do you have a preference? kind of surprised. Even as tank. Alright, we'll do it. I feel like the fights are fun to do. I don't know how fun they are to watch. I mean, these are still the easy versions of them, so it's not like there's crazy stuff happening. It's more just the music, the atmosphere. Containment Bay, P1, T6. The goddess.
I leave the goddess in your capable hands. Just watch out for her worshippers.
It's near music time! She looks like a near boss, actually. She's also got a gold theme going on. Giant head got a little creepy there.
The unenlightened come. Know you the full weight of death.
It's a chariot.
To me, my faithful.
That's the people from earlier. Oops, that was the wrong button.
Come forth, scales of revelation. I would know the weight of your souls.
Ah!
Can you bring? Sin must be balanced with suffering. Daughter, be the bearer of my wisdom. My revelations are lost.
Cut the song a little short. We'll listen to it again while I'm prepping for raid. That's such a good song. We need more of it. Maybe someday we'll do the hard mode version of the fight. Prog on it for like 30 hours. Just hear it on loop forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. I see the goddess is no more. Well done. Once Cryo and Unokalhai have rejoined us, we may safely depart. One thing yet puzzles me, however. How did Sophia's servants come to wake from their slumber? Bro, if the kid freed them again, went behind our back and freed them, I'm gonna lose it. I believe we have the answer to that. We discovered the remains of a Garlean soldier in an adjacent sector of the containment facility. 'Tis like that the fool ventured too close to Sophia during the Empire's previous incursion and was enthralled for his troubles. Another reminder, if any were needed, as to the incalculable threat posed by these beings. The goddess would not even have been conscious when she claimed the man's will, and yet his mistake granted her the means to release her servants, and would have resulted in her own liberation had we not been on hand to intervene. I do much wonder that the Icon's pawn was capable of so effectively manipulating the facility's containment systems. How came he by such rarefied knowledge? That too is easily explained. During our investigation, Kryl discovered a subtle flaw in one of the mechanisms which held the goddess in check. A flaw which had plainly been added intentionally. Upon examining the facility's records of the period, we were able to piece together the full story. It was a time towards the end of the Third Astral Era, when the peoples of Mericidia faced extinction at the hands of the Allegan Empire. Sophia, a being of incomparable cunning, was said to have communicated certain plans to her servants through the medium of a trusted oracle. Following the oracle's instructions, they duly conspired with the rebel faction within Allag, who, we believe, agreed to tamper with the prison intended for Sophia. And then the goddess and her thralls chanced to be captured, though we suspect that this had always been their plan. Indeed, the prison was situated at the heart of Allag, and we think they intended to attack the city from within. They would merely have had to wait for the rebels to exploit the weakness in their confines. Wow, it's like a Trojan horse. But the conspirators' dealings with the Mericidians were exposed before they could enact their plot, and all were summarily executed. It seems that the flaw itself remained undiscovered, however, and might have remained so until the end of days, had it not been for the actions of the Archbishop, and subsequently the Garleans. Can I help but wonder what might have come to pass had their scheme been successful? Mayhap the answer lies in the prophecy. Kryl hath the right of it. Its words may be deciphered thus. The cursed Paul speaketh of Sophia's prison, from which she was supposed to emerge at the agreed hour. The Worm King, meanwhile, can be none other than great Bahamut himself, then yet a prisoner, whom the goddess did intend to unleash upon Allag to set right the scales of justice. A foolhardy plan. Had it come to fruition, the two of them would surely have razed the realm. Naught would have been spared the devastation, the Mericidians' homeland included. Their home already stood on the brink of oblivion. Mayhap they wished for naught else but to purge the poison of Allag with primal fire. The tale teaches us that even the greatest of man's creation may yet be brought low by a single act of treachery. The Allegans were fools to place their trust in technological bondage. To shackle such beings is but to delay the inevitable. Naught save their total destruction shall free us from their menace. Let us return now to the Rising Stones, and there consider the final step of this most needful task. The threat posed by this facility is far greater than you imagine, Urianger, and one not limited to the Icons themselves. Sophia's remaining servants must be put down. Bloop bloop. Warning! Deactivating stasis chamber support systems will result in subject termination. Enter identification code to continue. Identification code accepted. Subjects terminated. Well, that's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess it's better than... I don't know. Is that the merciful thing to do? Basically just killed all of the Meracidians. At least the ones they captured. Okay. Zotomis, Warrior of Light. Arcania Strola mentioned that there was a matter she wished to discuss. What do you want, Luna? Hi. Well met, Celestia. You will forgive me if I seem curt, but I would settle an account with our young friend. While conducting a final sweep of Sophia's containment facility, we discovered that all of her remaining thralls had perished in their stasis chambers. This was your doing. Aye, it was. I chose to act upon the knowledge revealed within the tombstone we recovered. The true purpose of these prisons is far more horrifying than we first assumed. The Allegans were not simply observing the icons and siphoning away their energies. They were conducting experiments in preparation for a far more ambitious project. If you'll recall, both the Fiend and the Goddess were imprisoned within massive spherical structures. These spheres were the prototypes, which paved the way for the successful construction of an artificial celestial body. You speak of Dalamud. Aye, the icon's cages are unmistakably of the same design as the Red Moon. To be plain, the research facility contains the seeds of 3 calamities, which might feasibly be visited upon a chosen target. Eliminating one of them necessitated the destruction of the goddess's slumbering thralls. A distasteful task unbefitting one such as the Warrior of Light. Thus did I resolve to perform the deed myself. You have made your case, and 'tis apparent that we were not in full possession of the facts. Nevertheless, your notion of what may or may not be expected of Celestia is presumptuous in the extreme. When the Warrior of Light chose to join the Scions, she did so in the knowledge that she would be required to face and destroy not only the Primals, but also their fanatical servants. That which you term a distasteful task is an essential part of our calling, a burden which every Scion is sworn to shoulder. I see. 'Twould seem I misjudged the depth of your resolve. No matter. Assuming I have made myself understood, we need not speak of it again. There is, however, one other subject which merits discussion. You determined that Sophia's thralls were awoken by a Garlean soldier who had somehow gained access to the containment area, did you not? If that is the case, it seems highly doubtful that the interloper wandered into such a dangerous part of the facility by chance. Dissidents within the Empire claim that the 6th Legion is rife with agents under orders to thwart the Legatus's mission by any means necessary. Lest you imagine that we have allies in Garlemald, I should clarify that their motive is wholly uncharitable. Regula Van Hydrus rose to the top of the Garlean military on merit alone, and is fiercely loyal to the Emperor for recognizing his efforts. His compeers, by contrast, rose through the favor of the established order, and would accordingly do anything to see him fail. That they would be so reckless! You truly believe that the actions of these agents contributed to the recent crisis? Aye, and that they posed no lesser risk to the realm than those loyal to the Emperor. Plainly, we must needs continue to do all in our power to prevent the technologies of Alag from falling into the hands of man. On that point at least, we have ever been in complete agreement. Uh-huh. There's a lot of subtleties happening. Oh my goodness. You doing alright? Got another 15 minutes in you? Am I still alive? Hello, hello, hello. Hello? Is my chat broken?